Hello everyone, it's Varus, and in this video I'm going to give you a full update on the tropics, severe weather, alerts and indices, and more. So stay tuned. I got timestamps, so check them out if you want to skip to a specific part. And yeah, let's get right into it. So right now the alerts pulled up, and relatively looks pretty quiet overall in the U.S. And we do have however, we do have some dense fog and fire-related advisories in the northwest U.S., which has continued to be a really big theme this summer, while the rest of the eastern two-thirds remains relatively quiet, with just some heat advisories, some heat warnings, excessive heat warnings, and some other flood warnings, watches, and heat advisories. So, those are your alerts. Real quick, I did want to mention, please make sure subscribing. It will really help me out a lot. Can't wait to keep making videos for you guys. And this one's going to be really quick, really nice, jam-packed with information. Now, getting into the severe outlook, just want to talk about this as it has been a quiet story in my, if you check out my previous videos. However, it has ramped up slightly. We do have a slight risk up for North Dakota and Minnesota. Tornado risk, there is a small one, so keep an eye out for that. And there's also wind and hail threat. So overall, could be pretty active over here, up here in north central US, so please watch out. Day 2, another slight risk, kind of shifts to southwest, mainly for South Dakota and Nebraska and some of Kansas. 2% risk for tornadoes in South Dakota. Wind is another threat, and hail is another threat, mainly in South Dakota. So another pretty active day. Lastly, getting into the day 3, just a really big, wide, marginal threat for some of the populated areas, such as Chicago, is actually in there. Probably just going to be wind and maybe some hail. And then I'll just take a look at day 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Days 4 through 8. And as you can see, nothing really expected. Now, getting into the tropics, it's becoming active over here in the Atlantic. We do have a system now tagged right in the MDR, main development region, kind of heading west-northwest, and this could have multiple scenarios. It could curve up, it could curve into or continue into the Gulf, could go right into the Carolinas. Those are just some scenarios I'm sharing. Okay, we don't even know if this is going to develop, right? But we are tracking the system 0% in the next 48 hours, however, 30% in the next 7 days, which tells me that it will have some slow development as it treks west-northwest. We'll take a look at that a little bit in a little bit. Now, the Eastern Pacific was a little more active, 0% in the next 48 hours, 50% in the next 7 days for this first disturbance, and then disturbance 2, 0% in the next 48 hours, and 30% in the next 7 days. So, we'll watch disturbance 1. This could become something pretty soon. However, disturbance 2 we'll watch in the more longer term, as this will have some slow development. Lastly, Central Pacific, nothing really. However, this one system could try to get into the Central Pacific areas. And same with this in the longer term. We'll take a look at that as well. Now taking a look at IR satellite loop. So, I'm going to use this color first. This right here, here, let's use it even better color. Hopefully blue you'll be able to see. Or, you know what, we'll just use black. So, sorry about that, guys. Here is our invest in the Atlantic right here. Doesn't look too impressive, but there it is. And then we also have our one other invest here, and a nice, really good looking one over here. That's the one that's a 50% in the next 7 days. So these 3 areas, the main ones to watch. Just want to highlight that. Now getting into the ensembles. Now we're going to talk about this first invest in the MDR, this first area of disturbed weather. Honestly, we're just going to go out to like 180 hours real quick. And you see, boom. I don't want to go too much into it, but you have a system that has lots of support and scenarios from the European ensembles. Again, it shows many scenarios. It shows different strengths, some tropical storms, some tropical depression, some even hurricane, and maybe even a couple showing major hurricanes. So just letting you guys know, we do have some agreement that this could be forming. Now taking a look at a GEFS, this is also 180 hours out, and I mean, wow, you only have 4 ensembles. Okay, and so that just tells you there's still lots of uncertainty, and we really do have to watch out and see what will even happen next. I'm going to continue talking to you guys about this in the coming days, but just keep that in mind. We're watching the system very closely. Now getting into other regions, such as the Eastern Pacific. Right now, This is 180 hours out. So this is our first disturbance. It does actually show some development as it continues west, so we'll really watch out for that. This is our 50%, and you can see some pretty strong ensemble members strengthening this into a hurricane, so definitely something to watch. Some bring it kind of close to land, so we'll watch out for that. And then another system behind it for even more possible watching. And then there is also really small signal in the Bay of Campeche. We'll see if that gets any more love. Getting into the European ensembles, we also have more. Just taking a look, we have our first system right here. Probably gonna it's the one that has 30% in the next 7 days, so we'll watch out for that. Also, this one, the one that has a 50%, the highest chance, so this one's definitely the one to watch. And then the one behind that has some support as well. So, sorry I rushed through it. Just want to get you guys that information delivered as fast as you can. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.